Hi again, it's Lauren. We're just gonna, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the second workshop that we did for the series, and it was called Touching Work as Home, the assemblage workshop. I spent a lot of time going to the rummage sale down the street here and picking up a lot of random items that were very cheap and obviously not going to be used for anything. So I was trying to connect with using this idea of Earth as home that, even though it doesn't make total sense, all of these things that we cast away, that we don't need anymore, that maybe, someone's other things that in fact they come from the earth, and we don't know what to do with a lot of that stuff because it's just there, and we don't want to throw it out, and we don't know who to give it to. We don't know how to use it in any way that's sort of helpful, and sometimes we want to declutter, or or they're items that we just don't know how to reuse them. And so I decided that I've learned a lot about assemblage art over the years, where I've watched a lot of artists do it. Like the very first most important assemblage artist was a guy that actually collected garbage and made these huge sculptures out of like old rusty things and things that would actually break down over time. And I thought that was beautiful, because there was this idea that sometimes we create art that it's never going to go away, it's always going to be there. But what I wanted to do is take things and see how people in the program would connect with that, and if they could make something on a in a box. And I asked people to bring maybe like an old iPad box or something like that. So then you use that as what they call a substrate, and then we cover it in paper, or we used old frames, we used glass. We had ways to, break up little figurines. Like I had Kirsten, she was like having the best time breaking this angel. It was really funny. One of the things that was really important about this program was that we wanted to incorporate live stream into the situation, because during COVID people couldn't get together, and even though we had people here, there's probably, I don't know, 12 people in the room. There was a few people online, and some of them were from across the country, and we had someone come and chime in and say, "Oh, like listening to all you people talking amongst yourselves, and we're at our desks all alone over here in our houses. We just feel so connected to what is happening in terms of the actual workshop." People telling their stories. There was a woman, we had a long conversation about why she was creating the piece that she was creating, about her family and her father, and she was using a watch in her assemblage because she was so connected to this idea of time and time management, and how that, made her feel sad when her father finally was no longer here, this type of thing. And so she wanted to remember him in that way, and that was amazing. Other people were talking about a lot of their story in their life, and that, in its sense, I never mentioned that, I don't think. But the thing that was so beautiful about that day was that everybody, I thought at the end of the day it was going to be all gone, all still in my house, all that stuff, and I didn't know what to do, wouldn't know what to do with it. But in fact, everybody walked away with these beautiful three-dimensional objects, that each thing that went into that assemblage, because that's what assemblage means, when you assemble something into a space or anywhere. It can be three-dimensional, standing on its own, it doesn't really matter. But it's just that instead of like painting, they call this assembling. Whereas the other thing would be collaging, where they add that French word where they just glue things on top of each other. It's just ways to say those words. And um it was a lot of fun, and I can't think of more to say other than that. Yeah.